Good morning, students. Welcome to your chemistry class. Let us further discuss the chapter Organic Chemistry. And in that, today we are going to start with alkenes. The objectives of the chapter are Introduction to Alkenes, Occurrence of Alkenes, Isomerism in Alkenes, and in detailed study of ethene we are going to study here. And in that, we are going to study its structure, laboratory preparation, properties of ethene and uses of ethene. First of all, we should know what are alkenes. Alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons. Why we are calling them unsaturated? The word unsaturated means a compound containing a double bond or a triple bond. So here alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons containing carbon-carbon double bond in their molecule. So there is a double bond between two carbon atoms. The other name of alkenes is olefins. Why they are known as olefins? Because the lower members of alkenes form oily products when they are treated with chlorine or bromine. Lower member means those hydrocarbons which contain a double bond and there are 2 carbons, 3 carbons, 4 carbons. So the lower members when react with halogens, they produce oily products. So that is why they are known as olefins. The other thing that we should know is their general formula. The general formula of alkene is CnH2n. The general formula of alkene was CnH2n plus 2. So what is the general formula of alkene? CnH2n, and the N here signifies the number of carbon atom. Now if N is equals to 2, the formula will be C2H4. Since there are 2 carbons present, so the root word is eth. And since we are studying alkenes and according to the formula, there should be a double bond between 2 carbon atoms. So here the suffix comes out to be ene. So it comes out to be ethene. Likewise, if there are 3 carbons, then the name is propene. If there are 4 carbons, then the name is butene, and so on. Methene is not possible. That means carbon number 1 compound in alkene is not possible because for making a double bond, at least 2 carbons are required. So therefore, the first member of alkene is ethene. That we need to remember. Now let us move to the next topic, that is occurrence of alkenes. And alkenes are obtained by cracking. When long chain alkenes in absence of air and at a high temperature reacts, they break and form alkenes and alkenes, and sometimes hydrogen gas is also liberated. Let us see, take an example. When long chain alkenes break, at that time 2 fragments are formed, and accordingly the valencies are satisfied by shifting some of the atoms, and one of the fragments form is an alkene and the left behind one is an alkane. The next topic that we need to discuss is isomerism. And in alkenes, let us take example of butene, that is having a molecular formula of C4H8. So there are 3 structures in front of you. One by one we are going to study those. 4 carbons and 8 hydrogens. And since it is a butene, in first case the double bond is at the first position. Now what we can do is, if we shift the double bond to the second position, then the name changes. It becomes butene, and accordingly hydrogens also gets shifted and the valency of carbon is satisfied. That is, each carbon's valency is 4. So accordingly the first carbon gets 3 hydrogens, the second one 1 hydrogen, the third carbon is with 1 hydrogen, and the fourth carbon is also with the 3 hydrogens. Now in this, what is happening? First position and the second position. Double bond is changing its position. So such type of isomers in which the functional group is changing its position, they are known as position isomerism. Okay. Now when we see the third case, in this the double bond is at the first position. But what we are finding here is that the side chain, initially it was a straight chain and then now it became a branch chain. That means the terminal position carbon is been shifted here to the second position. The name is 2-methyl propene. we can write propanene, but from either side if we write, it comes out to be 1. So if you do not give 1 there, then also it is okay. Now here what happens? The chain, there is a difference in the chain, so therefore they are known as chain isomerism. So first structure and the third structure are the examples of chain isomerism. First and the second structure is the example of position isomerism. Next thing that we should know is structure of ethene. So there is a double bond between the carbon and there are 2 hydrogens attached to each carbon. The structure that ethene has is a planar structure. The angle between hydrogen carbon and carbon is 121.3 degrees, and in some books it is also given as 120 degrees. Now the next topic and the important one that you should know is laboratory preparation of ethene. Now in this we have to take ethanol and concentrated sulfuric acid, and we need to heat this mixture at about 170 degrees Celsius, and this gives rise to CH2 double bond CH2, that is ethene, and water is liberated. Now we have to be very careful with the temperature. If we lower the temperature to 140 degrees Celsius, instead of alkenes, ethers are formed. So you have to be very careful with this. So what is it? Ethanol, when treated with concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4 act here as a dehydrating agent. That means an agent that removes water from the compound. So from this ethanol, water is being removed and what is left behind is CH2 double bond CH2, that is ethene. Now instead of concentrated sulfuric acid, we can also use aluminium oxide as the catalyst. It will be known as a solid catalyst in this case, and the temperature is kept 350 degrees Celsius. And same thing, that is ethanol. From ethanol we can obtain ethene when we are using aluminium oxide also. So we can use 2 things, that is concentrated sulfuric acid also we can use, and we can use aluminium oxide also. The next one is from alkyl halide, that is ethyl chloride. Let us take example of ethyl chloride. You can also do it with ethyl bromide and so on. And reacted with KOH, that is alcoholic. Okay, we have to be very careful with the solvent, that is here we are using alcoholic KOH. Now what happens here is K will take up the Cl and form KCl. Okay, the OH that is left from KOH will be taking up 1 hydrogen from the adjacent carbon to which Cl is attached. Okay, so it will form water molecule. Now what is left behind is CH2, and since the valency is unsatisfied, it will be forming a double bond. So the products that we get here is ethene, potassium chloride and water. When do we get these products? When ethyl chloride, or we can say chloroethane, reacts with potassium hydroxide, that is in alcoholic form. It can be potassium hydroxide. We can also use sodium hydroxide in this case. The next topic that we are going to discuss is physical properties of alkenes, and we should know that the physical properties of alkenes and that of alkanes are very similar to each other because both are non-polar covalent compounds. So therefore, when we talk about their solubility, they are insoluble in water but soluble in organic solvents because of their non-polar nature. Second thing that we should know is the boiling and melting points of an alkene is usually lower than that of an alkane with same number of carbon atoms because of the presence of double bond. Alkenes with 2 to 4 carbon atoms are generally gases. So their physical state from carbon number 2 to carbon number 4, they are generally gases at room temperature. Unsubstituted alkenes, that is straight chain alkenes with 5 to 17 carbon atoms are liquid, and alkenes with more than 17 carbon atoms are solids. So this we should know. Now let us discuss the chemical properties of alkenes. First of all, we should know that alkenes undergo addition reaction. To understand this, let us take up an example of addition of HCl molecule to an ethene. Now in this case, hydrogen and Cl, there is a large electronegativity difference. So therefore, hydrogen acquires a partial positive charge and chlorine acquires a partial negative charge. When this molecule approaches the double bond, it gets breaked up, and to one of the carbon hydrogen gets attached and to other carbon chlorine gets attached. So this gives rise to chloroethane. The double bond gets converted into single bond. The similar type of reaction is addition of HBr molecule to an ethene. In this case, hydrogen and bromine, and here also there is large electronegativity difference. So therefore, to one of the double bonded carbon, hydrogen gets attached, and to the other side of the double bond, bromine gets attached. And this gives rise to bromoethane, and the common name of the compound is ethyl bromide. The next type of reaction is addition reaction, and that is of hydrogen. And when hydrogen is added to an alkene, it is known as hydrogenation reaction. Now in this case, this happens in the presence of a catalyst, that is nickel. And the other catalyst that can be used for this case is platinum or palladium. So here, hydrogen molecule add across the double bond, and this gives rise to ethane. The double bond gets converted into a single bond. The next type of reaction is addition of halogens. Now in this case, what happened? The reaction goes in a similar manner. Chlorine gets added up across the double bond, and here we need to give the position of the chlorine also in the IUPAC nomenclature. Since the long chains are 2 in number, so there are 2 carbons, and to one of the carbon chlorine is attached and to other one also chlorine is attached. So the names come out to be 1,2 dichloroethane. Similar way, bromine also gets added up across the double bond, and this gives rise to 1,2 dibromoethane molecule. Next type of reaction that alkenes undergo is hydration reaction, that is addition of water to alkenes. In this, now what happens is that water is being added across the double bond. How it is added? The blue color atom that you can see is supposing oxygen, and the black ones are hydrogens in H2O molecule, that is water. So when it approaches alkene, it gets break down and it breaks into H positive and OH negative ion. So it adds across the double bond. How it's going to add up? Let's see. So one hydrogen gets attached to one side and the OH goes to the other side, and this gives rise to ethanol, that is C2H5OH. There are 2 carbon atoms, and to one of the carbon there is an OH attached, to other carbon there is a hydrogen attached. And since the valency of the carbons are now satisfied, so the double bonds gets converted into single bond. So the reaction takes place in this way. There is an ethylene, that is an ethene molecule, and water in presence of a dilute acid. This breaks up, and to one of the hydrogen gets attached to one side and one of the OH group gets attached to the other one. And this gives rise to ethanol, that is CH3CH2OH, or we can call it as C2H5OH, that is ethanol's formula. The next type of reaction is polymerization. So what is this polymerization? When 2 or more molecules of the same compound associate to form a bigger molecule, the reaction is called polymerization. And to understand this, let us see one thing. So monomer units are present and they link together to form a long chain compound, and that is known as polymer. Now, how ethene undergoes polymerization? At a high temperature and pressure, and by using a catalyst, when n number of monomers of ethene react together, they give rise to polyethene. Okay, so the formula becomes CH2, single bond CH2, n times. The number of units that we have taken initially will be added up, and this will give rise to a polymer formation, that is polythene, the polythene bags that we normally use. Next type of reaction that we are going to study is oxidation of alkenes by using alkaline KMnO4, that is potassium permanganate. Now in this case we are using dilute KMnO4, and in this what happens, water and a nascent oxygen is produced, and that is being added up to ethene molecule, and this give rise to ethane 1,2 diol, that is CH2CH2. The double bond gets converted into a single bond, and to either of the side of the carbon OH group is being attached, and the common name of this compound is glycol. And the next one is the last reaction of alkenes, that is combustion reaction. As we have already discussed, in presence of oxygen, whenever hydrocarbons are burned, they will give rise to the product, that is carbon dioxide and water. The next topic that we are going to study is uses of ethene. Ethene is used in making polythene. As we have seen in the polymerization case, monomers of ethene came together in presence of high temperature and pressure, and this gave rise to a polymer, that was polythene. The next one is that they are used in ripening of fruits. So if you have raw fruits, if you put ethylene packets into them, the fruits will ripen up. The third and important use of ethene gas is in producing oxyethylene flame, which is used in cutting and welding of metals. So very important, because oxyethylene flame produces a high temperature which helps them to cut the metals. So this was all for today, students. Thank you so much.